Imagine waking up each day with complete clarity about who you must be. No hesitation, no excuses. No inner voice saying, "I'll start tomorrow." For the samurai of feudal Japan, that choice did not exist. For them, weakness was not merely a flaw in character. It was a death sentence. Because of this reality, they developed something far beyond combat skills or physical conditioning. They built an entire system for shaping human beings. A method designed not only to strengthen the body, but to fundamentally rebuild the mind. This system was Bushido, the way of the warrior, and Shugyo, the discipline of austere training. And here is what is rarely mentioned. These philosophies were not created to be elegant or inspirational. They were designed to function on real battlefields with real consequences. You have likely heard about Japanese discipline, samurai culture, and honor. But what actually happened when a young warrior first stepped into a dojo? What did he experience? How was he broken down and rebuilt? And more importantly, how can this same system be applied today in the 21st century without ever holding a sword? Before we continue, if you appreciate content focused on Eastern philosophy, wisdom, and Japanese tradition, like the video and press the hype button. This helps the channel reach a wider audience. Also, leave a comment below. I reject weakness. Use it as a declaration that you are choosing a new direction in your life. Now let's begin. Chapter 1. Bushido. Bushido. 3 Japanese characters that translate directly to the way of the warrior. But understand this clearly, it was not just one path among many. It was the path. The only path a samurai could follow if he wanted to survive, and beyond that, if he wanted his life to have meaning. Bushido emerged between the 12th and 16th centuries during Japan's feudal era. This was a harsh period. Clans fought constantly for land and power. Betrayal was common. Death was part of everyday life. In the middle of this chaos, a crucial question arose: how do you create warriors who do not flee? How do you forge men who choose death over dishonor? The answer was Bushido. It was not simply a behavioral code. It was a complete philosophy of life, designed to restructure the human mind from the ground up. Bushido rested on 7 core virtues. Gi, righteousness, doing what is right even when no one is watching. U, courage, not the absence of fear, but action taken in spite of it. Jin, compassion, because strength without kindness becomes brutality. Rei, respect, recognizing the value of others without arrogance. Makoto, honesty, your word is your life. Meo, honor, your reputation matters more than survival. Chugi, loyalty, absolute dedication to one's master, family, and purpose. Understand this clearly, these virtues were not optional. They were not guidelines. They formed the structure that kept a samurai alive, mentally and physically. A warrior who violated them faced only 2 outcomes: execution or seppuku, ritual suicide. Living without honor was considered worse than death. Take a moment to consider that. Imagine a society where your word carries more weight than your life. Where admitting a lie is unthinkable. Where weakness is not merely embarrassing but intolerable. It may sound extreme, and it was. But it was also effective. It produced some of the most disciplined, focused, and capable warriors in recorded history. Now, consider this story. In the 16th century, a young boy named Tiada enters the dojo of a renowned master. He is 14 years old. His father has been killed in battle. His family is gone. He owns nothing except the clothes he wears and a promise he made before his father died: I will become strong. The master looks at him and says, "Strength? You do not understand strength. But I will teach you, if you survive." For the first 6 months, Tiada does not touch a sword. No techniques. No sparring. He cleans the dojo. He carries water. He washes clothes. He serves tea. He wakes before sunrise and sleeps after everyone else. For every mistake, spilled water, poorly prepared tea, careless movement, he is corrected. This is Bushido. Before learning how to fight, you learn how to serve. Before mastering external force, you master internal discipline. The master understood that a warrior without humility is dangerous, and a warrior without discipline is useless. After 6 months, Tiada finally holds a wooden sword. He practices the same movements thousands of times each day, for months. When he asks, "When will I learn advanced techniques?" the master responds, "When these movements become part of you. When you no longer think about them. When they flow as naturally as breathing." It takes Tiada 2 full years to reach that point. And only then, does the real training begin. Let's clarify something first. I am not telling you to literally copy the lifestyle of samurai from feudal Japan. They lived in a different era, far harsher, far less forgiving, with no comfort and no margin for mistakes. On the battlefield, a single error could cost a samurai his life. What I am teaching instead is how to apply their life philosophy to modern living. Apply discipline. Apply commitment. Live by the principles of righteousness, courage, compassion, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. By doing this, you live as a modern samurai walking the warrior's path in today's world. But there is still a crucial element missing from this system. Chapter 2, Shugyo. Now that you understand Bushido as the code, we move to the method of execution. Shugyo. It is often translated as austere training, but that definition falls short. Shugyo is not simple training. It is forging. It is the process of being broken down and rebuilt. It is voluntary suffering with intention. The samurai followed a direct and unforgiving belief. You only discover who you truly are when your body and mind are pushed to their absolute limits. Comfort conceals weakness. Ease hides incompetence. Only under extreme pressure do you see yourself clearly. Because of this, Shugyo involved practices that would appear extreme by today's standards. Misogi, purification beneath icy waterfalls at dawn in winter, sometimes for hours. Takijio, meditation while standing under a waterfall as water crashes over the body. Kengayo, intense training during the freezing winter months, with no warm-ups and no breaks. Shugyo also included relentless training in the heat of summer. These were not short sessions. They lasted all day for weeks or even months. The objective was simple: eliminate the ego completely. That inner voice that says, "This is too hard, I can't do this, this isn't for me." Shugyo destroys that voice. Because when you reach your 100th day of relentless effort, sleep-deprived, underfed, with your body demanding you stop, something changes. You realize that voice is not who you are. It is fear. It is temporary weakness. And it can be ignored. Consider a real example. Miyamoto Musashi, the most legendary samurai in Japanese history, won more than 60 lethal duels in his lifetime. How did he train? He isolated himself in the mountains for years, alone, without a master or a dojo. In the Book of 5 Rings, he wrote, "I am not a master of anything. Around the age of 30, I reflected and saw that my victories did not come from understanding strategy. So I trained day and night to seek the deeper principle. By 50, I naturally arrived at the path of strategy. Since then, I have lived without following the path of others." This is Shugyo. You do not follow a system. You become the system. Musashi rewired his mind through deliberate hardship. He removed hesitation. He removed doubt. He removed fear. When he entered combat, he had already won, because mentally he was unmovable. Chapter 3, Modern Application. Now you may be thinking, I'm not a samurai. I'm not standing under an icy waterfall. How does this apply to real life? That is a fair question, and the answer is simpler than you might expect. Bushido and Shugyo are not about swords or armor. They are about timeless principles of human development. These principles work in any environment: education, work, relationships, career, and personal life. Let's translate each Bushido virtue into modern terms. Gi, righteousness. Do the right thing even when no one is watching. Don't cheat on your diet. Don't skip your training. Don't lie at work. Practice integrity in everything. You, courage, have difficult conversations. Face your fears. Make the call. Send the message. Decide. Jin, compassion. Be strong without being cruel. Help those who need it. Teach those who lack knowledge. Support the people around you. Rei, respect. Treat everyone with dignity, from the CO to the janitor, from your boss to the waiter. Respect has no hierarchy. Makoto, honesty, your word is sacred. If you say you will do something, do it. If you make a promise, keep it. Mayo, honor, build a solid reputation. Be known for consistency. Be the person who delivers. Chugi, loyalty, commit fully to your family, your goals, and your word. No half measures. Now let's apply Shugyo in practical terms. Choose your voluntary discomfort. Samurai had icy waterfalls. You have early mornings at the gym, demanding projects, or the challenge of learning a new skill. Pick something your mind resists and do it daily. No debate. No negotiation. But be cautious, as I've explained in other videos about Kaizen, the idea of continuous improvement. You cannot expect to transform your entire life overnight. Trying to force too many extreme changes at once often backfires. It creates excessive stress, which can lead you to collapse and return to old habits. So start with one uncomfortable action. Just one. Do it every day. Second, train to the extreme. Do not train only when you feel motivated. Train especially on bad days, tired days, low-energy days, days with no motivation at all. These are the moments that matter most, because this is when your mind is being reprogrammed. Third, eliminate leaks. The samurai did not have Netflix. They did not have social media. They did not have endless distractions. You do, and these escapes are draining your potential. Identify the activities you use to avoid discomfort and remove them. Learn to give your brain structured rewards, not constant escapes. Decide on a clear challenge and a specific reward. For example, if I go to the gym today, I allow myself to watch one episode at night. If I read 10 pages today, I reward myself with a walk. Design your own challenges and your own rewards. Fourth, create unbreakable rituals. The samurai lived by strict routines. Wake up, meditate, train again, sleep, every day without exception. You need the same structure. Build a morning routine. Build a training routine. Build a study routine. Follow them consistently. At the same time, remember that daily life is not always fully controllable. Unexpected events happen. Travel, emergencies, disruptions. On those days, the samurai were disciplined, but they were also flexible. Like water, they adjusted to any surface. Fifth, practice the death of the ego. Accept criticism. Ask for feedback. Admit when you are wrong. Stay humble. Your ego is your greatest weakness because it blocks growth. Reduce it daily. Psychologist Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, who studied human performance for decades, discovered that the most fulfilled people are not those who avoid difficulty. They are those who repeatedly place themselves in challenging situations and overcome them. Without realizing it, he was describing Shugyo. Neuroscientist Andrew Huberman explains that when you do something difficult, especially early in the day, you release dopamine in a healthy way. You train your brain to associate effort with reward. This is exactly what the samurai practiced. They did not understand neuroscience as we do today, but they understood the outcome. Modern research on neuroplasticity confirms this. Repeated discipline physically reshapes the brain. Each difficult action forms new neural pathways. You become biologically different. This is not symbolic. It is measurable science. There is one concept tied to Bushido that is rarely discussed. The samurai believed in Ichigo Ichi, one moment, one encounter. The idea that each moment is unique and will never return. That is why they lived with such intensity. They understood that the opportunity to change, to grow, to become stronger might not exist tomorrow. The workout you are considering skipping could be the one that changes everything. The difficult conversation you are avoiding might define the next year of your life. Ichigo Ichi. Now or never. So let's summarize. You learned about Bushido, the complete ethical code built on 7 core virtues. You learned about Shugyo, the method of forging through intentional hardship. And you learned how to apply these principles today without swords or armor. Now comes the most important point. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. And you are not here to be entertained. You are here to change. So I will ask you directly, what will your Shugyo be? What difficult action will you choose to perform every single day, without exception, for the next 30 days? Waking up for the gym at 5 a.m. intermittent fasting. Cold showers. Studying for 2 hours a day. Working consistently on the project you always postpone. Choose one. Decide now and commit to it. The samurai understood something most people never grasp. Strength is not built by avoiding weakness. Strength is built by confronting and dismantling weakness daily, and that process is painful. It will be uncomfortable every day. But pain with purpose rebuilds you. Pain without purpose only wears you down. So make a decision. Who will you be? Someone who understands these ideas but never acts on them? Or someone who rejects weakness and forges themselves through daily discipline? If this video had an impact on you, if you are genuinely ready to begin your own process of forging, comment below with your personal